So yeah, the question, the sort of sub question I'd like to answer in this short presentation is, yeah, how sustainable housing and community spaces can be reimagined into something which inspires people from new communities, intentional communities like an eco village, together with people from an existing village where it sort of lands. So this is where I'd like to move on. Yeah. Okay. So this is the eco village we're talking about. It comprises of 23 households together with a community building, some 70 people right now, and we built it all together as future inhabitants of the buildings, which is to Dutch standards really rare. It doesn't happen a lot. We didn't do it alone. We had help of some 2,000 volunteers over the course of 3.5 years of the construction time, from all over the world. It was really kind of a humbling experience. So many people flocking to help us out. Well, and let's just start with some traditional housing in the Netherlands. That kind of looks like this. This is an ordinary street in the village of Olst, which we are neighboring. So you've got brick houses. Most of them, it's kind of a facade behind which is concrete. So this is ordinary housing in the Netherlands, and this is ordinary housing in the eco village, which is quite different, as you can see. It's a straw bale, it's rammed earth, it's a lot of glass faces, and vegetation roofs. Well, I'll get into more details in this cross section. As you can see, the whole building is kind of encased in an earthen rim, which is on the back side, on the north side, and on the south side is a full glass panel which lets in all the sun warmth throughout the year. And that's the passive solar energy we're catching. We're also catching solar energy for our electricity production and hot water production. Natural ventilation, and we've got our own drinking water, and the wastewater is being purified by a reed bed filter. So we are kind of fully self-sustaining. And one more treat of the Aardehuis, or Earthship, as it is called in abroad, are the car tires. They are rammed with earth to a very heavy weight in order to be the supporting walls. And yeah, the car tires themselves only function as encasing of the rammed earth. They're completely packed into the earth and completely watertight, so nothing happens to them. They are inert, but they serve as supporting walls, which are very dense and heavy. And because of the compacted earth, it stores the heat in wintertime, which is produced inside, and in summertime they work as a cooling battery. So all of the year you've got some kind of a stable climate inside. Now, this is just a look in my own house, and the mission statement is all about working in co-production with the rest of nature and each other, and serving as an inspiration to the rest of the world. Now, that kind of sums up that things are very different from those ordinary houses and streets which you find all over the place in the Netherlands, in appearance, in all its functionality. Also, the whole concept of eco villages is not widespread in the Netherlands. And of course, we are drawing a lot of media attention, which is to a small village like the village of Olst is can be quite an impact, of course. So we kind of landed in the village of Olst like some kind of an alien body. And the question is, how do you get all those? How do you get the connection with the rest of society instead of staying this alien body kind of on the outskirts of the village? So how do you integrate in that sense? Well, there's a lot of words here coming. We're going to share this presentation as a recording later on, and of course, in the second half of this session, we can also go more into detail. But to give a short impression, it all starts with sharing a dream. Without sharing that dream, nobody flocks to it. So you got to keep on doing that, and I'm the initiator of the whole project, so I can tell from my first-hand experience. You need to share the dream, and then people come, or they don't. And once you've become a group, you can start creating some solid ground under that dream and making it as realistic as possible, because otherwise no municipality will welcome you to realize it. They'll just think, oh, a bunch of hippies, let's wave them goodbye, but not let's please let this not happen to us. So creating something which is solid and concrete is very important. And in our case, there were to Dutch standards and to standards for many countries probably. The Earthships are experimental buildings, and we had to learn to build them by doing. So we had all kinds of surprises on the way, but still. We finalized them, as you can see in my backdrop, of course, but and by doing that, and by all the media exposure we had, we became kind of a multiplier. We kind of we inspire lots of people to do stuff like this or different stuff, but anyway, go more sustainable than they were before. So the golden rules, let's delve into that in the second half. Just somewhat more about the design. Permaculture is at the core of a good design. In our case, you can relate it to the buildings, you can relate it to the edible green landscape around us, but you can also relate it to the people care part of it. Permaculture is based on on natural processes, on a thorough study of how an ecosystem works, and from that, some design principles have been derived, which can be applied to either agriculture, but also to the human society, simply because humans are an integral part of nature, and we adhere to the same rules as trees, bananas, monkeys, or ants. We're just part of the same ecosystem, large ecosystem. So what I want you to take away from this little graph is that trial and error is a very important part of the learning by doing thing. But not just randomly. I mean, creating a design that really focuses on connections is a very, very important trait of it. Much more than focusing on the components themselves. We are so used to building a house, a street, a village, whatever, just focusing on, well, we've got to house people and that's it. But if you look at the connections you make with the outside world, with the inside world, an integral design, then you get to some very different outcomes. So what we did in order to reach out to the rest of the village of Olst was, for instance, hiring local specialists, winning a prize for the most sustainable village for the village of Olst, repopulating the local school with our 35 children, which was quite. They made up some 20% of the school population at some time. And we had to buy solar panels for our roofs, but we invited other people from the village of Olst to join us to get some advantages in buying large quantities. So we ended up with 87 homes being provided with solar paneling instead of only our 23 houses. That was a very interesting, welcoming gift we did to the village of Olst. And we put Olst in different ways on the map by drawing international attention. We have monthly guided tours and specialists guided tours in between. We were even noticed by the World Economic Forum as a living laboratory, and we had lots and lots and lots of media exposure. The headline on this newspaper is "It wasn't possible, but yet it happens," and that's exactly the type of vibe we wanted to generate in order to draw in so many volunteers to help it realize. So the whole story of this enterprise, we wanted to tell that story in a visitor center, which is in this drawing, in this sketch, situated in the right upper corner. But we managed to realize everything but the visitor center, simply because we lacked the money and the stamina to carry on, because it was quite a lot of work we had to do. And we were about 1.5 years over the projected period we intended to have the construction period. So we were really at the end of our possibilities. So we didn't have a visitor center, and yet we wanted to tell the story and have all the values and norms and ideas we had about sustainability being exposed to the rest of the world. So instead of this visitor center, we started some of our Aardehuis neighbors started a transition project. A project in the whole village of Olst with some goals. We called it Olst in Transition, and it was all about building local resilience away from our dependency on fossil fuel. And that's exactly what we intended to do with the Aardehuizen, but now we projected it on the whole village of Olst, which comprises of some 5,000 inhabitants. So we were organizing all kinds of empowering projects and events in order to draw in people, in order to ask them on specific themes to come up with their own projects and ideas of a future that really inspires, and that is free of our dependency of fossil fuels. So the transition project actually worked like some kind of a catalyst in producing new projects. And what it partly looked like in results, you can see here. We now have a food forest solar energy project together with with a solar energy or an energy cooperation, all kinds of social events, local produce that's being sold off and all kinds of other things happening all over the place. And this is just part of what we did in the last, say, 10 years of our existence since the end of our construction period. So all these things happened in the course of that period, and we're not done. I mean, these projects and ideas and activities, they kind of reproduce themselves. So it's gotten a life of their own, and yeah, we keep on inspiring people by doing our guided tours, and whatever project comes on, we are happy to join in. So that's in very short our story. I may add, as to conclude, that in May next year we have a 2-day live event here in Olst. So you're very invited to join in at that time, and we can go into much deeper and much more details about how things can be done in due course.